Okay, hopefully I'm live. Let's see. I'll give it a second. It's receiving your content, so I assume it's running. Let's just start the project. Yep. So I decided, I haven't done a tutorial in a while, so I decided to do something like a full frame graphic, something simple that I can quickly knock out. And the UFC came to mind. Making a graphic for UFC or similar will make it. But just give you an idea, I'll quickly play the little clip. Let's see. There's this full frame stats graphic, and we'll try to recreate something similar to this. So let's get started. So I'll just stick this on my other screen so I can reference it. I mean, we can start with a few things. If we want, we can put in the background if we want. So if you want, you can go 2D image, and I've just googled a UFC stadium, image of a UFC stadium, and I've got that on my desktop somewhere. UFC stadium, bam, loaded into the 2D layer, and make sure that's at the top of my tree, and you can call this BG. So this is just a BG image right now, but if you was going to do this broadcast, you would of course have your live footage, and you just key your graphics on over the top. So this layer is where we're going to hold the graphics. So we're going to work in this 3D layer here. Let's start with building in the panel. So let's get the center panel. So they have this middle panel, so it's hard to see. I'm just going to turn off the background layer for now so you can see the square. I'm going to change the alignment to top and increase the width and height. Yeah, I'm just doing this by eye, but there we go. So this little tab, I'll call it a tab. We'll make it a tab, so it will animate down, and that reveals the logo. And then of course then we have a second tab that drops down as well. So we can layer these nicely. So you can name these. So I'll just call this logo tab. You can get a color for this. Color solid. And I'm going for like a dark, almost black, but dark grey. It might not be very easy to see right now, but I'm going to duplicate this again. Place this above. I'm going to go this backplate. You can name this whatever you prefer. I'm going to change the color, so I'm going to lighten the grey, or I can use the actual color picker. So I can go here. So by doing this, I can choose a color. I could choose the UI color if I want. Perhaps maybe I use that color. And what I'll do is extend that. So I'm just using I took the grey from the UI right here on the Ventuz GUI. And maybe this color, I'll actually I'll grab that from the video. Yeah, so it's a bit lighter. There we go. So let's just change some of these settings and the properties. This. Oh, let me move this so I can see better. There we go. Say something, it looks like something like this. Then it says like UFC here, and then it's like got welterweight. So you got logo tab there. So what we can do is you could use texture for the logo, or you could use some text. I'm gonna just use some text from there. It's totally up to you what you place here. I'm just gonna center the text, center, and and you can call this whatever you want. So I mean, it's UFC without the right font. If we want, we can import a font. So you can always go into your font, click on your font in the content window, go to font where it says default, hit edit. It'll look at your system. I've done it many times. And you can say project or system, and you can hit browse. And you can browse for a font in your system. So I've got a folder here. So what I want to do is just drop in this Captain America font I found. If I can unzip it, it is called American Captain. I'll just take the true type. I'll just drop it in here. Open. Now have a look for that. Hit OK. Oh, make sure. Okay. I'm gonna hit no because I'm not gonna overwrite my existing one. So now I've got kind of UFC font, a fake UFC font. Doesn't have the line cutting through the F. I'm going to just change the character spacing. You can change it to what you want, but even if I don't like that font, maybe not a fan of that now. Even though I don't like that, I don't even like that. I'm being picky now. Let's go for Bill Gothic. Yeah, let's keep it Bill Gothic for now. Anyway, I'll just call this UFC. I always like to name my items in the tree. So I want to group these. Maybe I want to group these two together. So I can just put an axis here. So they're parented. Now this can slide down from the top. Animates in and reveals the whatever the logo is. Now I'm getting a bit logo, UFC logo. I'm just going to get a PNG for that logo. Images. Okay. So I downloaded the UFC logo. What I'm going to do is just drop it in here. So you can drag and drop textures in. And then we'll get a rectangle. Delete that. There we go. That's looking better. Now we got the proper F. You could probably find that font online somewhere. So I'm going to call this logo. There we go. When we're animating that, we know that's the logo, and we'll animate the y-axis like this. So let's take a look. So they've got a few stats. They've got they've got a title and a subtitle. So we can add that in. So what we can do is we can use groups to kind of split up our graphics, our tree to keep it organized. So you could call this title. This is your logo. Even though I repeated logo here, you could remove that because it's there. But but if you're gonna animate it, then you still wanna name it, I guess. So then in the animation, that's the logo title. So I can get text 2D. Got text. I'm gonna switch that. Edit. Let's do that Pill Gothic or light. That's too light. Oh, sorry. What's deja vu? Yeah. Oblique. I kind of like that one. Let's use that. Did it even apply the... Nope. There we go. Scale this up. I might go quiet from time to time when I'm making stuff. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to type in like... you can type in like... Well, what's it they got? Well, weight. GHT. And do some character spacing. Maybe this is not the best font because it doesn't really work well, but you just get the idea. Let's find the... I'm still being so picky about that. This font is not good. It's a little bit closer, but I want it more slanted. Why is it doing that? It's so weird. It's just the way the fonts are, but yeah, it doesn't. Some weird reason the I'm sure this is not that's not how it should be spaced out. There we go. That works. Found the font that works. So I guess they're not really good fonts. Yeah, that's what you get for free fonts. Anyway, so we've got our title. I'll duplicate this. So I'll control and drag down, and I'll just rename this subtitle. There's a subline there, and then I can bring this down. And actually, if I reset the X values, right now it's left aligned, so I need to just select both fonts and center them. Center. And now the text is centered. All I have to do is just change the Y position. Nice. So let's change that. So it's about. So BOE, I don't know what to be, but they write something called bout. Now I'm gonna structure the tree the same way I see the graphic on screen. So I know, if you notice, I've done backplate, then I've got the logo, then I've got the title. I'm gonna put in between the line and then the subtitle. So it's easy for me to understand. I can see it visually here, and it's similar build. Visually, it's built in the tree. I like to build stuff like that. So say this is a little red line. Bam. And I'm going to drop a color in here. Color solid. And you can play around with the red color if you want. That'll do. Yeah. Okay, so pretty much got the top part done. So we could animate this if we want right now. We could start animating. So let's do that. Let's get a keyframe animation node. You can also find this node here in your toolbox on the animation, and you got keyframe. And what I'm going to do is take the Y position of the logo, drop that to the animation node. I want to animate, yeah, let's add some text effects. So on the title and the subtitle, we're going to add some text effects. So I'm kind of just making it up now. So I'm using the graphic as a reference, and then I'll make up the animation from what I can remember, so it's not going to be the same. So text effects, I'm going to put alpha effect on there, and the same again on this one, alpha effect. Shift select them both. I'm just going to Control Shift F, put them in the family, and there we go. Now what I'm going to do is take both text effects, take the progress, and drop them into the animation node. So now I can key those values. I'm going to try to keep this tidy when I'm going along with the build. Nice. So let's expand the timeline a little bit. I'm going to close the stage editor, we don't need that open right now. I can make this properties box smaller. Okay, so we're at 0. Set key. You can change this to seconds if you want, make it easier. So we go to a second, or let's go to just under a second, so 0.8. And so this is our end, this is the end state we want it to look like. And here, take it up off screen, and we can zero out the alpha. There we go. So now as I animate, you can see we can offset these as well. Or animating. So this values here, I want to change some of the settings on the text FX. So select both of these, change it to center, and invert the transition. So now kind of wipes outwards, so from the center, which is nice. And as that does that, I want this red line to grow. So I'm going to put this red line and shift select that, and now I'm going to drop this, connect this to the same animation. I'm going to animate the X value. I'll set a key there. So that's the current state I want it in. So let's make sure I've got that selected. And 0 here. There we go. And now we can play around with the offsetting of the animation. So what we can do is, you say the backplate comes on, so we could offset. So I haven't added the backplate in yet, but it would be the backplate, then you could have the logo, and then the text follows in. If I hit play, there we go. And we can play around with the speed to adjust all of this. If you want, you can shorten this. There you go. Cool. So we're getting somewhere. So we've got this going on. And next, let's animate this backplate. So the backplate itself, we could also animate the Y position. So we've got the Y position here. And drop this in the animation node. So here, I want to do it, say half a second. I want it to come in really quick. Oh, make sure you only have the back plate selected, and select that. I'm going to just take it straight off the screen. Like that. So okay, there we go. So that slides in, and then we've got this little tab with the logo and the title. So we can turn the background on and give us an idea. And I'm kind of thinking I want to make this transparent. I know that one's solid, but maybe I'll make it slightly darker. I'm just playing around, but then I prefer that. Maybe this is a tiny bit. Oh, let's do that. Oh, looking the wrong value. There we go. We can also maybe let's go to texture. Let's add a base color to it. Go here, loader, and then let's just add a gradient. Let's just choose a nice simple gradient. This one. This doesn't look too bad. There you go. Of course, you could do all the texturing in Photoshop or whatever you want, and then imprint those textures in for your bars. And there we go. Cool. So we've got this animated in. Now we want to create these panels that sit on top. So there's go to group. Okay, group. I'm going to call this stats. And I'm going to make it, actually I'm going to make another group like that, an axis, and I'll say bar 1. So we build 1 and then we'll duplicate down, so it saves us time. So we're going again, we're going to need a rectangle, of course, to hold the information as a backplate, so we can scale this up to what we like. So they have about 1, 2, 4. They have 4 bits of information on their one. So color, solid, and we can give that color if you want. Again, you can use the gradient tool, gradient texture built in. Then just like that, bam. Oh, perhaps this wasn't the best gradient. Let's go here. Here comes, this is pretty dark. Did I change the base color? Nope. Make sure that's set to base, that's correct. What's going on? Let me just delete that. Texture, base, there we go. Not sure what I pressed, I must have done something. There we go. Now you can tweak this gradient if you want. A tiny. There we go. So I'm going to position this about here. Okay, so this is the back plate, so I'll just call this bar. So I know that's the bar. And get another axis, text 2D, block text. And what I'm going to do is use color, solid, and I'll just use 1. So I'll need only 1, and then all the fonts will come under. So I need to center align these texts by default, so let's change the font quickly. I'll go for the light pale Gothic, and I'm just going to put in for now, just call that age. Make sure the text is centered, center, and now center this on the bar. Of course I can scale it up, something like this. So this could be like the stat 1. I'll just call it stat 1, and then I'll call it value 1 or value 2 or something like this, whatever you want. But for now I'll just call that value 1 will be on the left. And what I'll do is place this above, so I don't know. And I'll shift this across like this. Duplicate this. Rename this 2. So I've got value 1, value 2. And value 2, all I do is remove the minus, and then now it's opposite position. So I could do is type in here, it can be anything. So it could be a number, it could be, I don't know, weight, it can be whatever. So right now it's the age, so only here I could put like 39 or whatever. And you know, it can be versus 25, I don't know, whatever you want. Yeah. And you can play around with the scaling of that if you want. If you want different value size for that, or you want it bigger or smaller, up to you. Right, let's animate this. So let's animate these graphics. So we've already used the text effects, and we're going to do it again. So we're going to use text alpha. We're going to create a little animation on the bar itself. So that here will contain all our animation. So what I'm going to do actually, this bar here, right click it, merge to container, or Control M shortcut. And if you see this little arrow here, if you double click it, you can go inside. So now we've got bar 1. So now I can contain everything in here and just expose what I need. So I'm going to do, hit spacebar and text effects. So if you start writing in text effects, you get, but you can find this in the toolbox as well, but text effects, and then I'm going to use text alpha. And I'm just going to apply it to each one. You could also do is, you could also write alpha effect, people specific instant, and it just saves you one more click. So let's get a keyframe animation. So this will be our bar animation. So bar animation, or I'll just say anime for now. Actually, let's just call it bar 1. Makes it easier for us. Okay. So we know how to do this. So we take the progress, drop it to our animation. So they're all linked. We can keyframe these. We'll change some settings again. So direction, center, and invert the effect. So that's ready to key. I want to also animate this bar on the X value to scale out. But I also want another backplate which has some color to it. So it's not just this gray thing. So they had like a red white. So what we can do is you can edit this if you want, so you could give it a tint. So I'll just block this one there so we can see this bar, and we can go in here and just lighten that gradient. There we go. Something like this. You can play around with it. So this sits behind. So we're going to animate those two and just offset the values in the animation. So these are bars, so you can name these bars instead of them just being called rectangle bar, or you can call that red bar, grey bar, and try to keep this nice and tidy. There we go. Take the X values, we can animate those. So if I change my timeline to seconds, and I'm going to set it in the current state as it is, so then I don't have to, it saves me from setting them twice, like repositioning everything again. Now set a start key and change the values. So the start will be of course zeroed out, and we zero all the values. So now it's this. So what we want to do is maybe have the red bar. So I want maybe the red, so have the red bar animating first. So as the red bar starts to grow, followed by the grey bar. So you can of course just bring this in a bit closer, a bit tight. And then you can see now we've got this, this can come in earlier as well. So I'm going to move the age, so this value here can animates, and then the values animate after. So of course I can select those and move these out. And it's really slow right now. Of course we'll speed it up, you'll see in a second. But yeah, you can add some flares on. It can be extra. You can add all the extra effects on top yourself if you would. Okay, so we got that. We got something going on here. So what we can do is we can set a state, and then we can have a master animation where we can, when we duplicate our bars, we can just use those. So I'm just gonna set soft states. I'm gonna use soft states for this one. So we go here, new soft state, so it doesn't mess up your keyframes. New soft state. There we go. And what I'm gonna do is expose the control. And you'll see what we'll do in a second. So here I want to also expose the values. So value 1, I'll just double click this and name this value 1. This is the age, so I'll just call that's the stat. Oh, my phone, I don't know who it is. Stat. And then this is value 2. I've got value 1, value 2. I was gonna sneeze. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, like so. So expose those. I'm making a tutorial. Yeah. I don't know. I hanged up. Okay, so we've got this. I'm gonna adjust the height. Maybe I'll adjust the height slightly, so you know, just a preference. Okay, so let's get this working. Let's duplicate it. So we expose that. Maybe you want to expose, say later on, if you didn't want that to be red, for example, you could expose that color. You can name, if you double click it, you can name it in a bar color white or whatever, something that you know what it will be, what it is. So now when we go outside of the group, you got the bar color, you got your stat, which is the age, and then the values, and the control. Right now I can't animate, preview the animation without going inside that container unless I use the control, which we expose that here and link it to another one. So I'm gonna do is get an arrange node like this and change the arrange node settings on the Y value. So I'm gonna say top chain, duplicate this, I'm control dragging it down, top chain, offset. Right now I don't see anything. I also added axis in front of the range in case I want to move the whole group around. So for me to see it, I'm just gonna go here, just go into the animation. I should have actually left them fully animated. So now I got quite a big offset value on the arrange now. There we go. So here on the arrange node, you'll see you can control the bars and we choose where the group goes. So now to animate these, so we have them stagger. So what we can do is we've got our animation, main animation here. You can name this main if you want. Or normally you'll name it like the full frame, whatever that full frame graphic is or whatever, so you can reference it if you build it as a template, but that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, so I'm just going to get these bars, parent them together so as a group, and take the controls Bam. Now I got bar 1. They're all named bar 1 here, but they're using the container names, so it's okay. Select all of these. Set a key. So I'll go to about a second from now. Set a key, and now they say empty. So if you click on the keyframe and right click, you got connections. So you got S1 to S2, and we can do this for each one. S1 to S2, S1 to S2, connections S1 to S2. And now they're all animated. And what you do is shift each keyframe around. You can offset them, each bar, like so. And offset this. There we go. Pretty straightforward, right? Nothing too complicated. Now I can go in here, because I've exposed those values and those fields, so I could change this to, you know, height, and then, you know, you could put in is it like 6 1 or whatever you want, and you know 5 7. You know, you can go in and mess around with, if you do your layout, you know, it's really easy to build a graphic like this. So you know, weight, it could be 110 kg, or it could be in pounds or whatever you want. What is it called? Is it like 70 LBS? You know, and you notice right, oh, not 70, that's like so light. There we go. But yeah, so now I've got issues where my text and stuff is overlapping. I haven't put any like restrictions on the text, so what I could do is go in here, go to my first bar, and we can apply these restrictions if you want. So you can set the width limit if you want, and it will just chop it off. Or you can use, if you go into the text effects, and under shrink to fit effect, we can drop this on, and it will change the where it says height. I'm gonna just change that to 0, because the height, oh, is it 1? I think it's 1. Make sure it's on 1. So now if I go to type here in this field, what I can do is adjust that width and say, well, it starts to scale down. So it's right now scaling proportionally. If you turn it off, it squashes it, depending on how many numbers or thing. You'll never put that much in that field anyway, but if you say put 3 numbers, that's no problem. And then when you go to like more, you see it starts to squish, but it won't overlap. This graphic won't overlap, so you could apply this shrink to fit. So text effects, you'll find it in text effects, and then shrink to fit. And I'll just apply one to the stats again here. On the height, I don't need that, so I can set that to 1, because it's a single line, so that's why the height is set to 1. And I can type in some characters. So our longest character right here is, say, weight, for example. So if I use that as the longest character that we're going to type in, weight, and then I can start bringing this in a little. There we go. So I'll just bring that, so it's 2.83. Okay, and what we can do is, no, I was going to say, we'll do it again. So we drop it in, and what we can do is just take the same values here, so it's 2.6, 2.06, and 1. And just apply it to the same value, 2.06, 1, and we're done. So that's kind of sorted, so they'll never overlap now. And of course you can mess around with so you can make that title a little bit smaller if you want. And I want to space these out, so maybe like that. Right, bring this in a bit, and there we go. So that's what's this, minus 2.4, so 4.24, there we go. So I'm happy with that look. So now I can apply it to the rest. So by just shift selecting them all, turn interfacing on, I can drag down to the next bar, and you'll see they're all updated. Now the overlapping has disappeared. Very simple. Now let's add the people in. So we're gonna need some Photoshop, and I have Photoshop already. I think there's a good deal. I'm not sure if it's still there, but you can get the whole Creative Suite for quite a good deal right now. I think I got it for like 30. I paid 30 quid or something like this. I think it's 30 quid. Anyway, create new. And we'll start with just a normal scene. But I think I've already googled. Let me see if I got it on my desktop. Desktop. Let's move this over here. Yeah, we got a Ronda Rousey cut out already, which is nice. Saves us from doing this. Not sure what the sponsor is, but select that, control. Oh, yeah, it's already cut out. It's great. So you can. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have two images. So I got the original image, and then I want a solid cutout, but with a color. So what I'm gonna do is duplicate this and turn it white, like so. So now I have a just white cutout of the same character, or of the, of the person. So I'm gonna save as PNG for now. You can save it. I mean, DDS is really good. I'm just gonna save it as PNG for this. Remember, DDS is a power of. You have to save them in the size format like power of 2. Run the 1, and then I'll just say solid or something. So that's a solid texture. Okay, that's all I needed. So from here, I'm gonna make another group, and these will be the fighters. So actually, we can name that fighters, and then we just drop in an axis. Now you can now go color. You can go color solid. There's so many ways of getting the texture in. So you can go color solid. I'll show you the few different ways. Color solid, you can do texture, then go base, and then double click, browse for your image. Other way, you can get the file, drag it in straight from your desktop or from whatever folder you have on your system. Just drag it into Ventuz. Bam, it's there. As long as you have rectangle there, you'll see it. And there it is. There's the image. Other way, where we're searching for color, you can also type texture. You don't have to type color, and you get the checkerboard. Then you can just double click, find it. So there's plenty of ways of getting an image in really easily, like so. There we go. If we go here, I think it's here. Yeah, there we go. So let me just check the properties of this for a second. So 504 756. 504 756. And if I hit normalize, now I've got the correct proportion. So I put the pixel size of the image in the rectangle and hit normalize. That normalizes the values, so you don't have to scale your thing. Like, you wouldn't have to scale it down like this, like to some crazy value. So I can place this on the first fighter here. What I'm gonna do is just duplicate this and flip it. Also save myself some time. So here we go. Let's go to the options. So here where it says lighting model, let's change this to no light. And then we've got the solid cut out. Nice. And let's have an overlap. So we can have it overlap the graphic a little bit. So I'm just gonna bring her forward in Z, just by a couple of points. And, you know, just gives a bit more depth to the graphic. Maybe even on the backplate as well, if you want, you could, you know, just add some Z. So I'll just push that backplate a bit back, and let me just scale the X, sorry. There we go. And if you added drop shadows on those bars, you know, you can add more 3D depth to it. But yeah, we'll keep it simple for now. So this character, so I'm gonna keep on calling a character. Like, okay. So I'll just duplicate the image again, and this time I'll load in the solid one that we created. I think it was like sort by date. There we go, solid. Bam. And now I've done it as a solid. If I go to change it as a base color. Oh no, just keep it as no light. Sorry, I want to go there, base color there, and then I can change this to red. So what I could do is have another texture. So if I go here, texture, was it alpha? Let's try the alpha, yeah. So we can do alpha, and we want just like a white texture almost. So I should have some. So we'll go projects. Let's see. Oh, for some reason something happened. What's going on there? Project. My preview is not working. That's not good. Give me 1 second. Let me save this. Save as EFC stats. Hit close. I'm just gonna give it a quick restart. And reload the graphic in. Oh, my stage editor. So I'm just gonna change this back. This set to another project's width. So let's try this again. Let's go to texture. Here we go. There we go. Now we can see the textures. Okay, so I'm just gonna browse through the texture folder. I'm not sure what that was. I never come across that before. We go to white. Yeah, white. So you can see I've got this texture, this white mask. I've called it white mask, and you'll see what it does. So if we go here and we click on this alpha texture that we've loaded, and we go to 2D mapping, UV0. Now what I can do is change the position. Oh, make sure you turn clamp off. So default, advanced, and you want border. And you go border, change wrap to border, and then you see here where it says before they used to have the alpha of the border. Not sure why, but now it's here in the color, and you have to go here and change this to 0. So now that will make your border like transparent. Now I just gotta find that where it is. Where's the texture gone? Where is it? Am I even doing it right? Let's check. Let's block this for now. I'll just reset this quickly. One sec. Yeah, 2D mapping UV0. How comes I can't see this PNG? This alpha's not. Let's change this to texture. Okay, I'll change it to texture base with alpha. That seemed to have done it. Okay, so in the advanced, make sure it's set to border, and here 0. So now that's just that part of the texture. We do is scale this up like so. So now what you can do is, if I rotate this, perhaps scale this up. It will be like a wipe of the character. Oh, I forgot to turn on. There we go. So now you can see we've got this solid color that you can animate. Oh, make sure you got the right one. So you can do wipe over the character. Not sure why the alpha's not as nice. Let me check. Maybe should be able to just say alpha. No? Let me try. I'll just try it. I'm just gonna try different ones. It's not decal, of course. Base of alpha. That's so weird. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I can work with it, but it's not the effect I wanted. That's definitely not the effect I wanted. Yeah, border doesn't really affect. Is that affecting it? Doesn't. Yeah, doesn't really do anything. Just leave that to 0. Let me just double check and then see if I've got another texture. I'm gonna try this circle. I still get the same effect. I haven't never come across this before, this effect like this. I haven't got that banding before anyway. I've done it on a few projects. Even if I take this off, disable this, sorry. Disable it. Yeah, it's weird. I've never seen this banding before. If I delete that, I'm just going to texture, base with alpha. I'm just going to try something. 2D. So how comes this one's soft? Is it because it just needs the black and white rather than the transparency? I don't know. But we can use this one. There we go. This is better anyway. It's better texture. So go into advanced, border, Let me close my door. I'm not sure if you can hear that. There's a baby crying. Okay. So, I've been downloading the background, I didn't even know. Okay, so it's mapping, 2D mapping, UV0. There we go. So now it's a softer mask. Okay, make sure we change the alpha to 0. And I'll scale the Y up. And just rotate the Z. There we go. And maybe I'll scale the X like this so it's filled. Yeah. Okay, so let's get this animated. I've been spending too long on these textures. There we go. So keyframe animation. I'm gonna call this. Actually, no, we're not keying it in here. We're just gonna drop it in here. We'll key it in this main animation. So let's select 2 fighters. Well, I'm gonna actually select 2 fighters, those two. Control Shift F, so it's in the family. Can keep it tidy. I'm just gonna bring it down here. I'm dragging it. You can see I'm dragging the family down. So now it doesn't clash when I shift select that, so I can get the animation up. Oh, there we go. Helps me keep it nice and tidy. So I want to animate. I want to add axis actually. So group those together. Call that fighter. Fighter 1 if you want. And those two, and then and I'll just regroup those. Control Shift F regroups that. I don't even need those in there. Oh, took those out. Control Shift F will take those out of the group. There we go. So now what I can do is animate the X position, and here I want to take the red value and animate the X position on this. That wipes off. So X position on the UV mapping. And I'm just going to correct that value before I set the key, so I want it to be solid. So as the bars come in here, I want, so maybe at this point they're already in. So fighters in, and that's there. And say let's go to second, set a key, take the fighter off. And maybe animate, let's animate outwards. Yeah, outwards is better. So these offset those because the texture we want. You can experiment with this. I'm just trying out different things. Perhaps it's too slow. That is way too slow. But we can do the overall speed anyway. I'm just gonna bring those in. I'll just change some of the scaling properties. This why. Not sure that hard line is there. Actually, that's not bad if I've done a rotation like that, but maybe I'll animate the rotation, but Kind of like that. I like that effect. Maybe I'll animate that. Or, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, there's a few ways you can just play around, but I think that red is in there too long, so maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna be here all day, but yeah, tweaking it. Never happy with anything, any graphic like this. Okay, so 5 to 1. What I'm gonna do is flip this. So duplicate. You can do. So actually, instead of duplicate, I'm gonna go Control and if I hold right click, and I get the grey arrow, and then say you got link here, copy here, more. So I'm gonna say copy. Keep the same source nodes. And then hit OK. So now all the animations are the same. However, what I can do is put another axis on there. Just for now. If you was doing it properly, of course, you'd have its one position on the right. But what I can do is just move this in across like this. And what we can do is just flip her. So flip her over the other way. So -1. Now we don't see the back face. And then we can turn the back face on pretty quickly. So is it advanced? Oh, maybe I'm going the wrong one. Oh, sorry, draw mode. Solid. None. Is it none or front face? I think it would be none. And then the same on this one. Draw mode. Solid. It should be none, should be showing both sides of the face. Oh, it'll tell if I was choosing the right one. Oh. Yeah, draw faces, back face or front face. None. They're not showing it. Something different funny going on. Right? Other way I can do it. Select the image. Really should be able to flip this. Oh, maybe it is right. Maybe I'm doing it right. So -1. I think it's just the positions. Yeah, it's the position. It's my bad. So it did work. So none. There we go. It was just because the center pivot is not perfect. There we go. So now we've got the both animate in. Now let's go in here and take this one and this one. Yeah, an oscillator. Place this in between. Set this to like 12, a value of 12. Let's see how that looks. There we go. Of course, you could add more wipe effects on top. And then, you know, you can carry on adding to this. It's not too high, but just to give you an idea, you can build all your graphics. I hardly went into Photoshop to make any elements. I mean, just apart from the image of the person. All these graphics here, you can just shapes inside, basic shapes. Nothing complicated. Of course, you can make it more complicated. And let's go here, maybe on this back plate I want to add an oscillator. Let's see, say, and maybe I'm gonna go a bit crazy with oscillators. I add one on the logo, you know. Perhaps the logo one was too much, 15, and that one 15. Back plate, maybe the back plate doesn't need it. See how that looks? There we go. Already we're getting somewhere. And let's tweak these bars so if I want I can go in here and add oscillators on the bars. So all I have to do is edit one. So I'll go in here, select these, oscillator, drop these between. And the math effects are so good in this. And set those to 12. Just update those because we already got interfacing turned on. Oh, make sure I update them. There we go. See how that looks. Now we've got a little bounce to those bars. So, yeah. Hopefully it was a useful tutorial. I don't know. It's been a while, so I'm a bit rusty at making the tutorials. Yeah. There you go. It's not the same, but hey, if you want, you could add more depth to that. You can like have those more angled. You know, it's free. You got the 3D spaces. It's not like you have to use. It has to be in 2D space. It doesn't have to all look flat. You can add your 3D elements in there. You know, you can add if you want to add like a gloss. So say you want to add a gloss texture on top, you could do that. You can even add your post effects. I wonder what the post effects would look like. Just add in, go in here, just do the bloom. And just play around with the settings. A little bit of pop to it. Yeah. What effects could we add to it? I wonder. I use this a lot. Is it not 2D displacement? And you can play around and you know. It doesn't matter, just try different things. That's kind of trippy. So can you clear, crash zoom? Let's add the vignette default. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. definitely it was some use. I'll try to make more tutorials, you know, from time to time. I got free time. I was a bit bored today, so I decided to go off and do this. I'll hit save on that. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your evening or night or morning or day wherever you are. And thank you for watching.